Okay, so we've got a historic moment. You see that white spot right over there across in that forest? Not sure if you or how well can you see it, but that is the white deer. See? I think he probably noticed us at this point. But that is the white deer. So beautiful. I've seen it a couple of times from up close. I mean, not that close, but say, I don't know, 150 meters perhaps. And it was an incredible experience every time. See. Yeah, it's definitely alerted of our presence. I wish you could see it. I don't know. Not sure how the camera is getting that kind of detail from afar. Okay, now we turn around. There's another deer running away to the right. Yeah, she's usually accompanied by other deer. And oh yeah, there's like, I see them. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4 deer. And then there she is on the left. She's looking at us. Hey girl. Beautiful, beautiful creature. Oh, now there's 2 more. See, now she's running away. About 4 more deer right there. And there's a couple of deer there that way. And they're running towards the part where we walked yesterday. And these seems to be joining them soon, I guess. But yeah, that's not where we're going today. But, you know, and we don't want to spook her, you know. So I'm not going that way. But we're definitely come across this beautiful creature. She's really, I would say, mythical, you know. Absolutely stunning being, shining brightly, like truly the color of the yeah, I knew there was gonna be something today. Hold on. On the feeder, I mean, you know, I was just checking up on Drake. But not much, just some grain. But the color of her fur is bright snow white. It's the whitest white I've seen, you know, in the animal kingdom up close, or like personal, you know, or like the whitest color I've ever experienced. And I just realized I'm saying you knows again. God damn, how can I unlearn this? Hypnosis maybe? Anyway, I'm gonna try and think about it, and also don't alert it as much, you know. Not alert it as much so that I don't annoy the hell out of you with that. Because probably, you know, alerting that I'm doing it might bring the attention to it and might make it more annoying. So a bit of a paradox there. So I'm gonna try and use it as little. And if I do use it, I'm just gonna, you know what, just, okay. Nobody's perfect, right? So, by the way, the goose is gone. So, we've been here 2 days ago. And the goose is gone. And most likely entirely eaten, because there's just a couple of feathers in there. Oh, there's more feathers there to the right. And there's a whole lot of feathers up there if you check. So I think, yeah, fox has been doing its work. I think it was having a a Christmas meal, a late Christmas meal, because that must have been like a Christmas present. And yeah, it's gone. So probably, most likely, ate it or brought it back to her den or somewhere where she lives, or he lives, you know. So yeah, we got a song thrush singing from the left. Still the same guy, still our friend songbird, song thrush. And so yeah, as I was saying, I'm not gonna learn or like bring attention to the fact that I'm saying a lot of you-knows anymore, because again, I said it might create a paradox when it becomes the annoying thing, not the you-knows, you know. and actually, I don't know, maybe it's not even that noticeable. Maybe I just focus on it and it annoys me, you know, because I realize that I'm doing it, and therefore it became irritating to me. But anyway, I'm gonna try and make it better while also not bringing attention to it, and that's the last word I'm saying about it. Zip. So, the white deer, yeah, it's a beautiful creature. I'm glad we saw it, and as I mentioned in the channel description, and I think I mentioned that I'm not joking. There is truly a white deer roaming these forests, and I've been meaning it and seeing it for the past 4 years since I've been living here, and it's been always such a, I don't know, kind of hard to describe. I know it's a you know, white, I don't know if albinistic or leucistic, probably albinistic. I haven't seen it up close. I don't know if it's got red eyes, but it's entirely white. There's no dark spot on her, so I assume maybe albinistic, I guess. I don't know, but you know, it's a rare, fairly rare mutation, and it's a deer, you know. It's a deer, European deer, but I don't know, I always feel like she kind of feels different, not only just because she's white, but because every time I meet her, it's like there is something going on, you know? And she always looks at me, and the other deers behave differently. That's the interesting thing. They are kind of more like, how to put it, well, more deerish, you know? They are spooked out, and they're kind of, you know, nervous a little bit, and you can see they're running away, but she always stands there looking and not moving, you know, for a long time, and then she moves and, you know, runs away, but not as you would expect, not like very fearfully, more like, you know, okay, bye, sort of a sort of exit. And one interesting thing, and I might something to do with the fact that it's so all white, which is unusual. Drake is, you know, we met it a couple of times from more up close, and Drake was spooked by the deer. Like, his fur would stand up and he would growl and bark, which he never ever did on any deer or any other animal at that matter, really. And he would not move an inch, which is another interesting fact. But yeah, every time we've crossed paths, I always took it as some sort of a, not a sign, but it kind of felt like, I know it might sound silly, but sort of like a reassuring sign from the universe, sort of, you know, like everything's going the way it's supposed to, you know. There's a white deer in there, and it's like a sort of a white check mark that everything is happening the way it should be happening, you know. And that's always the case, of course, but it feels good to meet this white deer and see it. It always makes me feel I don't know, content, reassured, happy that it's, you know, doing well and it's alive. And there is really this presence. Maybe I'm making it up because it's white and we people have a very vivid imagination, and we can make up things, you know. Could be, but I really do have a feeling that not only is she different, not only because she's white, I have a feeling there's something else to that deer. And really the way it behaves, the way it always looks at me. And the other deers are like, there's this contrast of the other deers. If she would be alone, I wouldn't notice probably. There's a king of the birds singing from up there. That very long song, that was a Eurasian wren. So the king of birds we covered in one of the videos. We've heard a raven, and this pew pew pew, that is a nuthatch, Eurasian nuthatch. So the contrast of the group she's always with, the normal deers, the deers of the normal color, there is a visible difference between them, and not just because of their color, you know, but because of their behavior. And that is so interesting to me, you know, because she always looks up and stands in there and looks right into probably right at you, you know. I see her head pointed exactly my direction, and meanwhile the other deers are running away, you know, doing their thing, and she seems to be the last one to move, you know, the last one to run away, the last one to make a move. And it happened once. I saw her on that meadow we walk through often on the hill, and I think there was a sun, and she was shining brightly like a star at that top of the hill, looking at me. And I was coming across, like, towards her because that was my, you know, direction. And she hasn't moved for so long. So I could see her, I had my glasses, I could see her up from like 50 meters. And then she, you know, just gently ran away. Not like being afraid or fearfully running away, but just gently sort of ran away, you know. And that was one of the most amazing encounters. But the interesting thing is I've met her multiple times across various different parts of this region, you know. I've met her in this forest, I met her in that forest, I've come across her in entirely different forests, like a 10 minutes or 20 minutes of walk from here. So we crossed paths, I would say, probably 10 times on different occasions, on different parts of the region here. And it's always amazing. And one more thing. Yes, sometimes I see her from our living room, actually. I see a white spot, bright white spot. I'm like, is that the white deer? And I take my binoculars, and sure enough, it is. Actually saw her about 3 days ago over on that spot. She was grazing in front of that spot where she was at now. She was grazing there with a group of deer. So I saw her, you know. So yeah, that is the legendary white deer. And you know, from the moment I learned it's here and I saw it like 4 years ago, I was afraid that it's gonna get shot, you know, because white deer, you know, trophy and all that. But fortunately, there is a legend which I've learned. There is a legend, and that there's a gamekeeper's legend amongst the gamekeepers that if you shoot a white deer, you're gonna die within a year. So I believe, hopefully that's the case, why she's still alive. I believe those gamekeepers are following that legend, and out of respect they're not killing her, which is awesome, and I'm so glad that that's the case, because if there wouldn't be for that legend, I'm afraid she would be gone already. But fortunately she's been healthy and alive for those past 4 years. I don't know how old she is. Maybe she's already here for a couple of years before those 4 years. I have no idea how old she might be. But thanks to this legend, I think she's secured and safe. Hopefully, gamekeepers pass this on to multiple generations, so that everyone knows that this legend is there, and no one's gonna hurt her, I hope. But yeah, that was oh dear Lord, oh my God, come on. I just slided on a, like, wasn't even a solid poop, it was more like a diarrhea kind of poop from a dog probably or something, I don't know. But I just made like a banana slide on it. Jesus Christ, fortunately I didn't fall. Oh, okay. Great. Anyway, that was the white deer, and I'm so glad we hopefully captured it on camera. I don't know what kind of detail the GoPro captured, but hopefully enough for you to see at least a little bit of it, you know. But I'm very sure there's gonna come a time where we will need it and come across it in one of the walks in the forest, and we'll see it from up close. So stay tuned for that. Nah, I'm kidding. But yeah, I mean, you know, perhaps in some other videos we're gonna capture that moment. So, oh, and by the way, there's a, hear that? There's a woodlark singing. This is the descending song, sounds like kind of like stairs going down. So there. There's a raven flying. There's the croak, 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 croak. Yep. Now it sounded brilliantly like stairs. Yep. Anyways, that was a good ending to our video, so I'm gonna sign off now.